Hey, it's Kat. Welcome back to the channel, guys. So today we're going to be talking about Ectoplasm and how to get it. So Ectoplasm is a region in the game, and one of the quickest methods to get it is if it's in here. So we're going to go in the Bazaar and see if we get lucky, and see if there's a bunch here. I don't think there will be. And they also updated this. So would you like to buy something? We'll go to Regents. I think it's just under this. I can just look it up. Ectoplasm. I spelled that right? I did not spell that right. We'll just scan through it really quick. So there is 0 ectoplasm in the shop. I just went through every tab just to be sure. So we're going to have to go farming for it. So when you look this up online, the #1 way it says to get ectoplasm is to go in the Bazaar and buy it. As we just saw, there is 0 ectoplasm in the Bazaar. So that's not an option really at all anymore at this point in the game until people start selling their regions again, which nobody does because it's better if you keep it. And I just went ahead and opened my backpack because I know I have ectoplasm myself. So here's mine, a sample of ectoplasm. So this really drops for anything like undead, ghosts, like they can all drop ectoplasm. So what we're going to do is we're going to go farm Lord Nightshade really quick. As you know, Lord Nightshade's one of my favorites because he also drops anything holiday themed. So right now there's a few drops that he's doing. So we're going to see if we can get some stuff while we're here. So we'll just run through here really quick. But if you pull up the actual wiki page for ectoplasm, there is 1,000 different entities that you can fight to get ectoplasm. This is just one of my favorites. As we can tell by how many videos I make of me coming back to the same spot in Wizard City every single month. And then along with finding it by fighting or doing the Bazaar, you can also get it from gardening. So you can harvest the orange dandelion, the ultra snapdragon, the ultra trumpavine as well to get the regent. But personally, I prefer farming if I'm looking for something else. I don't really do gardening unless it's for the couch potatoes, even those I'm not using as much anymore. Nope, no ectoplasm that time. But along with farming and gardening it, you can also transmute it. So to transmute ectoplasm, you need 5 leather straps to do it, and you need to be a apprentice crafter. The cooldown time for it is 5 minutes, and you can get the recipe from Avery Templeton, Balthazar Dragonthorn, Carcinosis, Kimba Kala, and it's 150 gold, so it's a really cheap transmute. But that is another option if you have a bunch of leather. But we're going to run this a few times and see how many it takes for us to get a ectoplasm drop for an idea on the drop rate for this, as I've never actually farmed for ectoplasm. My other suggestion is just not selling any regions that you find, as a lot of times you'll build it up. Like the 72 I have is just from me playing the game, and it's just being a random drop over time, you know, farming Lord Nightshade and then farming other bosses throughout my questing and just other undeads. It's pretty much anything that seems like it'd be undead should drop it. But like as I said earlier, if there's like a certain boss you like farming and you want to know if they have the ability to drop it, you can pull up the wiki page on the Wizard101 wiki, and it will tell you in alphabetical order every single entity that will drop it. So you just got to know the name and you can look it up and see if it's on there. Honestly, that's one of my favorite ways to check and see what certain bosses will drop. Like I always look at Lord Nightshade's page to see what all he has. So he has like all the Christmas pets, all the Halloween pets, regents, Halloween costumes. He has the harvest items as well during the harvest festival. So he has a bunch of different stuff that he drops with it. He also has a generic pets like the dark fairy and the blue banshee that he drops year round. But the other ones are only during certain times. Like he has Valentine's Day stuff. He has a lucky leprechaun. So overall, he's like one of my favorite all-around ones. I know Jade Oni also has a bunch. I think Crocopatra has the holiday items too, along with, I want to say Mirror Lake has the holiday items as well. I know Crocopatra is also on the list as another one you can farm, since she is technically undead. Yeah, this is going to take a little while, isn't it? Honestly, if you like gardening, it's probably the quickest route to do this. Just because you can grow so many plants at once and just check on it and just have a passive form of getting ectoplasm. So ectoplasm is so important as it's used in so many different recipes. You got your hats, your boots, the housing, the robes, the amulets, treasure cards, rings, regents, snacks, mounts, and also your atoms. It's used in the whirlwind mounts, so that's popular choice for farming wise, just because you can use it to get these different mounts, which I think are honestly really cool. It's basically like a cloud underneath you, like the leaves. eyes, and it's so cute. I want him so bad. But there's also other uses for him, like the transmuting. You can transmute into spider silk from it, which is nice instead of trying to find spider silk. That's not even a region I've covered yet because I haven't even gotten to using it. But some of the housing items include like a storm tablet, roof inside corner Azteca block, the ironbound dresser, framed Croco Sphinx photo, floor ceiling sim castle block, bumbler honey bowl, bumbler honey cup, Babbage bassett. So there's a bunch of different stuff you can make with these. And probably, like I said, probably the biggest ones are those mounts that you can craft, because you can get the recipes and then you can just make them yourself instead of having to buy the mounts or farming for them. Because you can farm certain bosses like Crocopatra. Oh, here's one of the Midnight Sprites. And Crocopatra and Rattlebone's Master Jewels. I'll show you the pet really quick. Here's one of his ones that he commonly drops. But I was hoping we would get some Ectoplasm. We don't seem to be having very good luck with this drop because he does have a lot of stuff. So he's dropping a bunch of his gear instead of the regions. Nope. So I went ahead and pulled up the Life Whirlwind mount recipe. So the recipe itself costs 60,000 gold to purchase from Kalskos Coppersmith. And to make the mount, you need 25 Sanctuary treasure cards, 5 Life Akutas, 1 Ultra Tiger Lily, 1 Moat of Transport, and 25 Perfect Jade. And you also have to be an apprentice crafter and requires the equipment crafting station. Ooh, a strawberry. So the recipes themselves aren't very hard. It's probably just getting the treasure cards and then also trying to get those fish for people like me who don't fish in the game. But the Ectoplasm is probably one of the easier ones overall, at least to me, to get, just because as long as you're questing, you're gonna have a chance to get Ectoplasm to drop based on who you're fighting, and over time you'll have enough. The other issue though with the wiki sometimes too is that the recipes aren't quite updated on there as they are in the game. So like that actually didn't say Ectoplasm, but if you purchase the recipe in the game you can get a better idea. The wiki pages aren't really updated as much anymore, so a lot of times there is older photos, and when they add newer regions like the flax, you won't see it right away in the recipes on the wiki until somebody decides to update it. Let's go in with these guys. So I think we're gonna call this our last run. We haven't gotten it to drop at all, unfortunately. That's also why this isn't really a suggested method of how to do it. Instead, I would focus on gardening and just getting a bunch of gardens going so you can have a bunch at one time and just have a supply coming in of it. Gardening is also a great way to go in general for some regions, just because it could be easier to get them just passively like that, just replanting them constantly instead of going out there and trying to run areas or farm certain bosses. And if there's like a particular one you're searching for, you can always look it up and it will tell you which plants will drop it, make it a little bit easier. And nothing again. Yeah, I'm gonna say this probably isn't the best method for Ectoplasm, but it is a chance if you are farming for the holiday items, which soon we'll be having Christmas stuff again, my favorite time of the year. And I'm also gonna go ahead and sell stuff from just farming right now, so we got about 2,000 gold out of it. Alright, I hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you did, make sure to like, comment, and subscribe down below, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye!